Did you know the very first South African choir toured Britain and America in the 1890s, and it would change Black American music forever? On this third episode of The Thread, I'm going to tell you the story right now. So, this is the African Native Choir. They were a choir that was based in South Africa. They wanted to help build a technical school in Kimberley, South Africa that will empower Black children to learn the sciences. So they decided to tour Britain and North America to raise some money to do that. Raising money for school through the use of the choir was a model that was developed by the Fisk Jubilee Singers, which were a Black American choir group based in Nashville. The Jubilee Singers would travel the world singing alto, tenor, soprano, bass style to raise money for their school. When the Fisk Singers would travel Britain, missionaries would take their hymns and songs back to South Africa, and South Africans would then learn the Negro spirituals and sing them in their own church spaces. When the African Native Choir traveled to America, they actually brought Black American music back to America, but they infused it with African harmonies and African sounds. The choir performed in churches, theaters, and even before Queen Victoria herself. What was most awesome is that the African Native Choir performed in Black American churches. They used Nguni sound, clicks, ululation. They also use call and response and fuse Sutu and Swana bass sounds into the music. For the Black Americans in the audience, it was amazing to hear their own music reflected back to them through African sounds. This was an important moment because it would be the first ever documented in person meeting, cultural exchange of Black South Africans and Black Americans. And ever since that tour, Black American music and South African music has never been the same. South Africans would strengthen their craft of Jubilee and Black American gospel music, and out of that would be born Mbube and Isitamaya. And Black Americans would practice with sliding chords and call and response that they got from South Africans. What started just as a choir to raise money also became a pipeline for degrees. Charlotte McClickey would stay in America, study at Wilberforce University, and become the first Black South African woman with a college degree, which is one of the first HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities in America. She's the first Black South African woman with a college degree from a Black American university. That's incredible, guys. So, how does knowing this story help reduce poverty? I'm gonna give you three ways. The first one is identity as capital. When Black people across the diaspora see our cultures and our identities reflected on stage and in moments of cross diasporic collaboration, it can bring a sense of pride. And pride is not just based on feelings, it's based in economies and economics. People that are more prideful and have respect and pride for who they are want to stay in school, want to do good jobs, want to do good things to bring good things to their community because they're proud of it. Number two, we shouldn't be afraid to price our skills. What the Fisk Jubilee singers as well as the African Native Choir showed us that they can sing and they deserve to be compensated for it, and that compensation can definitely go back to building their communities, which is what they were doing. Finally, singing together with other people actually reduces emotional stress, physical stress.